got.
And so was this a bookstore before you guys?
No. Here, I'll give you this one, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
This is the Ghost Town one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see if I can find this Chinatown book.
So this guy is actually living...
Yeah, he was my assistant.
Really?
He basically spent his life savings on this. It's like 300 acres above this lake, above the lake from Chinatown that they stole all the water.
Oh my gosh.
But it's really cool. So he's like restoring all these old buildings, and he goes down in the mines.
Really?
Yeah. He just.
Is that not dangerous to
he recorded the audiobook for this at 900 feet below ground, like for the thing.
Whoa.
It's crazy. It's really cool. And so he thought it was going to be this like whole resort thing, and then it became it's like a YouTube channel. It's just popular as a YouTube channel.
That's really interesting.
Okay, so this is about Chinatown.
Thank you.
Yeah, because
this
there's
is awesome.
many. You got Robert Evans.
Yeah.
You get, Roman Polanski. You get Jack Nicholson. Like the directions you get to go off in studying Chinatown is pretty incredible.
Well, and the other thing is, again, because I was just watching it on the plane, it's like there's things that they do that you can't do in movies. Like you don't understand what's going on for like the first 30 minutes.
Yeah. It's kind of got a Raymond Chandler thing.
Yeah. It's basically like sells itself on attitude and like atmosphere.
It's also insane that you would like make a hit movie about like stealing water.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
There's like the other one is like to think like Who Framed Roger Rabbit is about the building of the 110 freeway. That's what that movie
is. It really?
The movie is about them ripping out the streetcar to replace it with a highway.
Yeah, I did not remember that.
So like really great things have like sort of sublimated to it, like
this
whole other
That's
story.
really fun.
My favorite, have you read Ask the Dust?
No.
My favorite LA book of all time is the novel Ask the Dust, which has this crazy story. So John Fonte was this sort of struggling writer. He lived in Bunker Hill. Like all the big buildings in LA used to be these sort of Victorian mansions, like San Francisco, that they tore down to build all these big buildings. Anyway, so he writes this beautiful novel, and then the story is the year it comes out, his publisher publishes an unauthorized, unredacted edition of Mein Kampf.
Whoa.
Because Hitler is like 33, so Hitler's this. It'd be like if you published Putin's book or whatever, but HMH, like Houghton Mifflin, owned the copyright to Mein Kampf. They were Hitler's U.S. publisher. And so they sued and bankrupted John Fonte's publisher. And so the book is lost to history until Bukowski discovers it in the Los Angeles Public Library.
Really?
And Robert Towne discovers it, and he's the one, and he makes a movie of it like all these years later.
Oh, this is awesome.
Probably picked up the same copy of this obscure book that no one read.
Yeah.
It's my all-time favorite writer, and it's a novel about a writer. It's incredible.
Oh man, thank you. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question about because I noticed you guys have all the like LBJ stuff.
Yes.
So, do people like, because you're in Texas? Do people want to buy books about Texas? Is that like?
Yeah, I mean, I've read a lot about Texas. I think Texas is fascinating, and those are three of the, or what is it, four? How many are there? I think those are some of the greatest biographies ever written. I mean, it's just like a master at work. But I
noticed also The Sun. Like, there's like
The Sun is good. Philip came out. He lives in Austin. He's great. So we have some good. We have like Texas-y books that are popular. But I sort of see like Texas, Mississippi, like all that kind of stuff all together.
Yeah.
So,
this is really fun.
Yeah, thanks.
So what was this before you guys?
This is like a Mexican restaurant.
Really?
This was built in the 1800s. These are three buildings. These were built in the 1800s.
Huh.
They've been a billion different things. That was a barber shop most recently. These were vacant for several years. But like, so there was a bar here.
Oh wow.
And that's what this is. And then this is the kitchen of the restaurant.
Oh really?
This is the kitchen of the restaurant.
So did you guys do the reno yourself?
Yeah, sort of. Obviously we didn't do the construction ourselves.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. And then actually there was a bar from the 1800s, like a Brunswick bar in that building. I'll send you a link to it. But we moved it to the ghost town.
Huh.
So because that's when it dates to.
Oh, wow.
So we put it there. But yeah, we're just kind of, that tree fell down on my ranch, so we moved it into the thing, and then.
This is really cool. Yeah. And then how did you guys build this? This is amazing. I was noticing it in your studio. This is amazing.
Yeah. These are just a bunch of books, and then this one, he cut a lot of them, so it's not the full weight of the book. Because stacking on top of each other, it would
be way too much, yeah.
So he cut a good chunk of them. But the fireplace is built, so they're just
like arranged around them and then glued in place.
Yeah. So it's what? It's 2,000 books, 4,000 screws, 6 gallons of glue, and it weighs.
That's so cool.
Yeah. We just wanted something that kind of makes a statement. And it's funny, people just come in and the first thing they want to do is take a picture in front of it.
Oh, really?
And so it's like, I think in the world of social media, you want something that you share about the thing that you did.
Yeah. Yeah, so that totally makes sense.
We have 2 cats that run around too, and like that, they're probably like the second most popular. People just want like things, you know?
That's super interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I like about it too is it's very, like unlike most Instagram things where it's like pink background, like it looks actually distinct.
Yeah. It's been cool. And the fireplace doesn't work, so
which probably is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like sort of, you can't take it out and it doesn't work. So
yeah.
We were going to do, have you been to the Last Bookstore in downtown Los Angeles?
No.
They have this cool, and you walk up this flight of stairs and then it becomes like, they clearly just took like a metal bar and then drilled a hole in the books and slid it on there. But you walk through like
an arch?
Like a tunnel. Yeah,
oh, that's cool.
Because it's over the stairs. So we were going to do something like that, and then the fireplace sort of being there.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, listen, I know that you have to go on the road. I don't want to like.
No, let me see where
she's running a few minutes late. She had to get gas.
Alright.
So are you guys literally leaving right away to
we're
like?
Drive like 4 hours, crash, and then drive the rest of the way.
Well, do you guys want to go next door so that Charles can sign some books?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
whatever you want.
Unless there's any other.
Are you sure I can't buy these? Like,
of course.
Oh,
we're closed.
It's very, very nice of you. Thank you.
I don't know how the cashier. Anything you like in our space? What have you been reading?
You know, I want to read Cal Newport's new book. I haven't gotten a copy of it yet. Oh yeah?
Where is it? Slow Productivity?
Yeah. Is it good?
I don't have it just yet. It came out 2 days ago. Yeah.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was here the week before it came out, so I didn't have him. No, he's great. You guys are both at the New Yorker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's it's such a smart way to come at productivity too.
Oh, he's the best. His deep work book, I think, is incredible.
Yeah.
There's Range, which we were talking about.
Yeah.
He's great.
What sells it surprising? Like, what's the thing?
What sells?
What are you surprised by?
That's a good question. I like to find this probably this. Tolstoy wrote a page-a-day book.
Really?
Yeah. It was the last thing that he wrote. It's just a collection of his favorite quotes and sort of meditations on them. And then it was suppressed by the Soviets after his death, mostly because it's very religious.
Oh, interesting.
And so it was totally forgotten until the 80s or 90s.
And do people buy this?
And it's probably I loved it, so I started talking about it because I've read it when I was doing the Daily Stoic, just like other books in that space.
Yeah.
And then it's probably there's a handful of books like that where we're one of the only places that's selling them.
Right.
And so the publisher's always running out.
So let me ask you, because I am very curious, because your books are based on so much research.
Yeah.
Obviously you do interviews, but not the same way when you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Most of the people in my books are dead.
So how do you structure how do you structure your time? Because I use the interview to basically help me to get my material, but also to help me know when I'm ready to start writing. Because I start hearing the same thing from different people.
I I'm usually, I have like a theme or a topic, and then I'm reading about it and researching about it for a long time. And
are you like keeping note cards, or like what do you do?
Physical.
Okay.
I use like 4x6 note cards.
Yeah, that's what I used to.
I have a table upstairs, and they're all laid out. Like, so I'm doing a series now on the cardinal virtues. I did courage, discipline.
Oh, interesting.
Justice comes out next, and then I just started wisdom. So that's why I have the chapter on questions.
Right.
Questions. So I wrote something down that you said about, like, we were talking about like questions that get an answer that's not prepared. That they think for it. I was like, oh, that's great. So I'll write that down in a note card. That'll go in the tab of question things, and as I put together that chapter, it'll go in there probably.
But like wisdom is so amorphous. Like, how do you?
So like I wanted to write a book about humility. That was what ego was. But then I found out ego is the way in. Like, what is the thing that makes it not amorphous? So the actual virtue for the Stoics is temperance, which they illustrated with a person watering down their wine. Well, that's a super boring idea. You can't write a book about temperance. No one would read that. Like, even moderation, no one would read a book about. Right? Because most of what people want is the extreme. They want to be extremely successful, extremely rich, extremely powerful. Like, you know, it's like selling a book on body positivity is going to be really tough, right? Because like people actually want to be jacked, even though they need to be body positive.
They want to be skinny and they want to be jacked, and they want to believe that if I give you the answer, like you can do it without much work.
So you got to figure out what is the thing that's no one wants to read a book about a thing that they're not inclined to do, you know? So I made that book about self-discipline, which is a rendering of temperance. And self-control. For me, it's all about, what is, and I'm still figuring it out because I haven't written the book. But what is the thing that makes that accessible and interesting, and then also like compelling to share? And
that's super interesting, because I think for me, I do the same thing, but it's this. I have to find the story.
Yeah.
Like, until I know what the anchor story is, the narrative, then I can't actually figure out how to structure the chapter. So
for me, it's what's the theme. Like in this case, like I didn't decide. I decided to do a book on the cardinal virtue, or a series on the cardinal virtues. So I don't pick the virtues. What's do I think is most compelling about it, and then it's not what's the story. I have to go like, who are the characters and what are the main story. So like the discipline book, Lou Gehrig's the physical manifestation of discipline. Queen Elizabeth is the like sort of temperament or emotional side of it. And then the last one I talk about, Marcus Aurelius, who has unlimited power, and it's sort of fusing the physical and the temperamental discipline together. So for me, it's first what's the thing, then like who are the guys.
Right. That's super interesting.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's
the best. Solving the puzzle part is fun, and then finishing is fun. It's the middle part that's
fun. And it's literally like the middle part of the middle, where you're just like, you feel like you're like turning the crank every single day, and you're like, am I getting closer? Like
It's like if you work on it enough, and then you're like, oh wait, when I put it all together, it's decent. Like
So which stage are you at right now? Are you at the?
So the justice one, like I'll get galleys like next week. So that's like done, which is hard. It's hard to be done on one thing and then like deep in the shit on another thing. Like I'm like the intro's half written, the first chapter's half. I'm like all the easy parts. And then I have like I'll just have to go. I'm mostly just trying to find a little traction here, a little traction here.
I have this, basically a trick. So what I'll do is once I do all my reporting and I put everything on note cards, then I'll just sit down and I'll write my editor a letter explaining how this chapter is going to work. And the letter is like 4,000 or 5,000 words long. I read a lot. It's sort of my job. You can't write without reading. For almost 15 years now, once a month, I send out an email with my favorite book recommendations for that month. Books that I've been reading, books that I've been going through, books that changed my life, that inspired me, that I think connect to what's happening in the world. And you can sign up right now at ryanholiday.net/reading list.